What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is now time for Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. This is the live stream where I let you all interview other YouTubers. I have an awesome guy on tonight. You guys have probably seen his channel. If not, you're going to want to check it out. I have Eric from No Front Brakes. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's awesome. Awesome. Great. Well, like I said, guys, you guys run the whole show. I want you guys to go ahead and just start driving questions out there for Eric. I want you guys to run it, and way it works is if I'm asking a question or if I'm talking or whatever, and you ask a question, I'll more than likely interrupt myself and ask your question. Obviously, if Eric's talking, I will not be interrupting him. So we're going to start this off just like I do with a lot of my live streams. Eric, I need you to say Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour 5 times as fast as you can.
Oh, God. Okay. Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. Jeremy's Pedal Power. Is that 5? Is that 4?
That was
three?
Three or 4.
Three. Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour.
That was one of
That's 5. That's 5.
That was
Total.
5. That was one of the slowest
Cumulative
ones I've ever
5.
had. That was extremely slow.
I didn't want to mess it up, okay?
It's okay. It's okay. You can mess it up. But how's it going, everybody? So, like I said, I have Eric from No Front Brakes. And why don't you, Eric, go ahead and start off and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your channel.
Sure. So I started my channel in like 2018, 2017, somewhere around there. And I had seen a bunch of other YouTube mountain bike channels, and I thought, hey, I can film my local trails like that. Mm-hmm. And I have one hand, and I didn't even realize, hey, like that's probably a pretty important part of a story. Like that's pretty interesting to other people. They're like, how is he doing that? And I ended up getting a prosthetic arm and learning to ride with that. And that became my main thing rather than just documenting my local trails. So so that's what it's about. It's about going out, me trying to do stupid stuff that I shouldn't be capable of. I wreck a lot, and I mean that's the whole point of it. So
that's crazy. You see, I don't know if y'all have seen Eric's channel, but when I watch your stuff, it is because of your prosthetic arm, but I get scared. Like I start puckering like every time you hit something because I know, and I'm talking to my wife today, and I'm talking about you, and she's like, "Could you ride your bike with one arm?" I'm like, "Okay, well he's got it kind of clipped in, right? It's kind of a special thing going in," and I'm like, "It's kind of clipped in, but it's still." I watched you had issues it coming off.
Yeah, well, I used to, but I mean, again, is being clipped in onto your handlebars, is that good or bad? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you got like SPD shoes or whatever, like you can pop those out pretty quick from muscle memory. But when I'm putting like my arm over basically like a truck trailer hitch and then putting rubber bands over it so I don't come off when I'm jumping, like, do you know what I mean? Like I wrecked like 2 rides ago, and I just happened to be able to like wreck and go over the bars at the right angle that my arm popped off. But every time I wreck, I'm like, oh my God, thank God I got away from my bike and wasn't like dislocating my shoulder or breaking my arm or whatever.
See, I give you mad props for being able to do that. And you told me before the show, you're 40 years old.
I am.
So, sorry I had to bring that up. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I'm not
sad
a lady.
about it.
You don't look very ladylike, so it's okay. I can talk about your
Thanks.
age. So, yeah, I give you props with that. And then 40 years old, and you're still out there going balls to the wall. You know, you're in Texas, and is Spider Mountain your go-to place?
Oh, well, there's another place near Spider Mountain called Reveille Peak that's like, it's amazing. There's a bunch of like really great flowy jump lines there.
Yeah.
But Spider is great just because you're not really you're getting on a bike lift as slow as it may be. It's not like a bike lift in Colorado or Whistler or whatever, anywhere.
Yeah.
It's slow, but you're still putting your bike on a thing, going up, and then riding a bike down a hill. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's. I mean, I have a season pass there. It's probably one of my favorite places to go. Reveille is great. Also ride this place called Brushy, which has a like Texas is really chunky and technical, a lot of rock gardens and stuff like that. So we don't have like a lot of really great flow trails.
Okay. So it's a
But
lot.
yeah,
How you see, I haven't been to Spider Mountain, or actually, I haven't ridden anywhere in Dallas. So when you say chunky, it's just, I mean, when you say rocky, it's just tons of tech and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, it's pretty techy. Like we don't have a lot. I mean, it's not like on the East Coast where we have like tree roots or anything like that. It's just either right, especially this time of year, it's dusty and
yeah,
rocky,
yeah,
and
sounds like you.
that's it. Yeah.
That's insane. How far? But is Spider Mountain, is that that's the only lift access place in
In all of
Texas?
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And Texas is like before I moved here in 2012 and I didn't realize how big the state was, but like if I want to go to Louisiana, that's like 6, 7 hour drive. If I want to go to New Mexico, that's at the minimum a 9 hour drive. If I want to go to Arkansas, that's like or Oklahoma, that's like 5, 6 hours. So
Yeah.
like it takes a while to get out of the state, basically.
You're right smack. I'm trying to think of my
Pretty
geography
much in
here.
the middle.
Yeah, right smack in the
Yeah.
middle. That's crazy. And Texas is basically a country of its own, size wise.
Mhm.
It's humongous, huge. It's huge. That's awesome. Well, I'm appreciate you being on our show, guys. Go ahead and get some questions out there so I can ask some questions, and we're not just sitting here looking at each other awkwardly. Um, so, with your channel, what would you say is your? Do you do mostly POV? For someone who's never seen it, do you do mostly POV? Do you do reviews? What's your channel about besides riding with only one arm and a prosthetic? What's your channel about? What do you do?
So I used to do just like a lot of like trail review ride videos, but I'm starting to pivot away from that, trying to
Yeah,
do a lot more like scripted videos, like go out and like have a shot list and film my shots. I just feel like I've told the story of all the local trails so far,
yeah.
and to be honest, if you go back to those old videos that you film and you're like, oh, these are
That's
terrible. Like,
terrible. I was going so
why does
stupid slow.
anyone? Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
but I feel like there's like I mean, think about a TV show. It's not like even reality television. A lot of that is still like scripted, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. It is.
there and I think like a lot of the great stories to be told are stories that like pop up in people's heads. It's not like doesn't just like automatically pop out on the screen. So
Yeah,
I've got a lot of scripts, especially in the YouTube world. Like you want to take your channel to the next level. It's always about like what's the next big story you can tell.
yeah,
It's always about like making that viral video or whatever.
yeah,
And so like I have a couple really funny ideas. I don't take myself too seriously. I have stupid like a shtick or whatever. Like I this company in China sent me these crazy like lights for a golf cart basically,
yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna strap them on my bike and make like a stupid video where I wear a mullet wig and make it really silly. So like that's always my thing is I don't take myself too seriously. If I think I have a story when I go out and film something, like that's the point. I try not to do too many like ride based videos. It's always like what because I feel like a lot of YouTubers go out and especially in the mountain biking world are like, I'm gonna go ride this trail, and then afterwards you have to figure out,
Hmm.
okay, what was interesting about that ride,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And you have to tell that story. But if you like say, hey, I want to go out and this is a specific thing that I want to film, like my white whale series, right? Like those are all things that I've ridden before and I chickened out on. But if I
yeah.
can go out and like sit there and be like, oh my god, I got to do these, I got to do this because I didn't do it before and I got to do it. That's the story. There's no like, well, I'm gonna ride and see what shakes out type of thing.
That's awesome. You did see. I watched the one where you did that real chunky, rocky downhill section of it. Did who was that? Someone was riding with you, wasn't it? Was it BCPOV.
Yeah. It was Eric BCPOV and Yuka, his wife, and that.
I'm trying to remember.
It,
Did you get that?
did I get it?
Yeah, did you get it?
The, yeah. Oh yeah. I chickened out. There's like a lower, like they call it the waterfall section. It's like a
Yes,
crazy
yes,
rock garden
yes.
at the bottom. I didn't do that part.
Oh, okay.
That will be some other time. But for me, it's all, and it's funny because like it's not like I'm doing like 30-foot gap jumps on my white whales, right? Like
Yeah.
it's always stuff that I've done, and it's really not that bad. And I've probably on another trail system have done the same thing but bigger. But it's always a mental game when you're biking, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of whether you're filming anything or not. So
What's your basically what becomes your white whales? Are they chunk? Is it stuff like that one, or is it jumps, or what do you find to be your most challenging thing to actually complete? Yeah,
it used to.
right there, Run Bike Mike is saying, what is the biggest white whale you have ever completed? So
Oh God. So it's been a lot of like, for me, it's been a lot of drops. I am not good at drops, and they scare the crap out of me.
love them.
Especially if they don't have a run out. If it's just like a huck to flat, like that
Yeah.
scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I won't do those.
I want something that I can like nose into and ride out, and not be worried about whether I'm going to do a full compression and like get a little whiplash, get a head bobble. But tabletops don't scare me, right? Because
Yeah.
if you screw up a tabletop, you just land on the top and then you bounce down
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah.
Gap jumps scare the crap out of me. Chunky sections aren't too bad. Like in my last white whale, like if it's chunky and really steep, that's when I usually chicken out. But I would say overall, it's usually drops or gaps too.
What's the scary thing? Because I love drops, and I went to Missouri and was going to drive down to Bentonville and hit the trails there. And I had in my head I was going to do drop the hammer. I love drops. Well, I sliced my leg open, so I wasn't able to go. What is it about? What's so scary about drops to you? I'm trying to, like, other people talk so scary of drops. To me, jumps scare the bejeebus out of me. Dead sailing in the sky. That's what scares me.
Well, it's not so much about that. Like I just did. Like I'll have another white whale coming out that's like I went to Angel Fire, and they have an area called Drop Zone that has progressive drops, and they have one that's like it's like a wooden ladder, right? And it drops off. It's probably like 4 or 5 feet. And previously, like I went there 2 years ago, and like there's no way. Like I was not doing that. I think the thing for me that I don't like is when you go off a drop and you can't see what's on the other side. Like anytime you lose sight of anytime you lose sight of the ground and where you're going to go, how you're going to position yourself over your bike, that scares me a lot. And especially when you don't have like a really big run out on something, when you have to like take that, just like it's like a head bobble, right? Like you fully compress your bike and you're soaking it up with your knees and your neck, and then like I just don't like the idea of laying down my bike sideways. I wreck all the time, but I still have a fear of wrecking, as ironic as that is. So I feel like I've escaped injury so far. It's been like 4 or 5 years since I've been mountain biking again, and I hopefully keep escaping it.
That's good. Let's see. The Shred Shed is asking, how did you first get into mountain biking?
I first got into mountain biking a long time ago. I bought my first bike in 1996. It was a KHS Montana Summit, I think is what it was called.
Okay.
It was a hardtail.
When?
96.
96, okay.
And so I did a cross-country race then and broke something on my bike. I don't even remember what it was. Broke something on my bike, ran my bike across the finish line. Did a bunch. I think I did end up doing like 2 XC races, and it did not go well. And then I would just like ride around with like my hippie high school friends And then I stopped. I didn't ride for a long time, and only I moved here. I went running on these trails around the apartment that I was living in, and I realized, man, these trails would be great for biking. And so I think it was 2015 maybe that I went and bought a hardtail again, bought a
Yeah.
bike, a mountain bike again, and was hooked from there.
That's awesome. It's kind of weird how went away from me too. So you bike as a kid and then go away, and then all of a sudden some weird thing happens, and
Yeah.
you're in your
Well,
30s and you're jumping off stuff
yeah.
like a kid.
Well, they always joke about it being like, it's like riding a bike or whatever, but I mean, that's kind of true. It was like a 15, 20-year gap for me, and
Yeah, mine
it's
was
come back
15,
to it.
and we didn't have
Yeah.
dropper posts then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are like,
Yep.
"What? You didn't have dropper posts?
Yeah.
What's
Well, I
that?"
remember our suspension, the suspension on my first bike had these like little like gel things that you would put in. Like you had these, I don't even know what they're called anymore, but you had these like rubber things that look like shocks, and you
Yeah.
lift it up and you would put these little like spacer type things in that were like jelly,
Yeah.
and you would put different ones in for different seasons. You would put
Really?
different, yeah, it was really weird.
That's weird. That's crazy. And I heard it. And I had my first suspension bike was a Raleigh M180 or something like that, and had a RockShox fork on it. And man, I sent that thing with the seat post up as high as I could go. That was nuts. I can't believe that. Okay, so Run Bike Mike is asking, what is your favorite local trail, and what is your favorite away trail?
Local trail. That's a good one. I think it's still Jaws. There's this like, and I know Kyle, who's in here, has definitely Cobra Kyle has definitely ridden there. It's just like a jump trail, and every time I go there, I clear more and more of it.
That's awesome.
Reveille Peak. That's the place. That's my local go-to. That's not Spider Mountain, basically.
Okay.
Favorite away trail? That one's tough because it either is someplace in Bentonville. Yeah, it's either like Fireline, which is in Kohler in Bentonville, or Monarch Crest Trail, which is incredible. That's in Salida, Colorado.
Okay.
Just riding above the tree line, riding above where trees grow, and there being snow in August up on the mountain is just it's unreal.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Doing a 35-mile bike ride, it's unreal.
That's sick. I have not seen snow in 5 years, and I miss it. And my sister lives in Denver, and she keeps begging me. She's got trails in her freaking backyard and in her front yard she can enter.
I bet.
And not even fair.
Colorado's awesome because it'll snow one day, and then the next day it'll be in the 70s.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's what she says. She sends me pictures of piled high on her car, and then the next day I'm like, "Are you able to get out?" She's like, "Oh, it already melted." I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's crazy. That's cool. Okay, so let's see who else. Run Bike Mike is on it today. He said, if you could ride with any YouTuber, of course, besides me, if you could ride with any YouTuber, who would you ride with? Now, you said you've met almost everyone.
Yeah.
Before you told
me.
Who's your favorite person you've ridden with?
The favorite person I've ridden with?
It's kind of a loaded question, you know.
Yeah, it's loaded. I really like Brian BKXC. Yeah. Like I really connect with him. I like that he's always about bettering himself, reading books, listening to podcasts, like just philosophically talking to you and like learning who you are. And I really appreciate that. Like I'm a person that's always trying to, like find that next thing that's going to like challenge me, whether it's, mental or a physical thing. And I just really click with him. He's been here twice and we've ridden together each time. I really click with him a lot. And then people that I haven't ridden with, we were just talking about this, but Josh, Daily MTB rider, I would love to ride with that guy.
Awesome dude. Awesome dude.
He seems like the type of guy that would talk you into doing something dumb, but that he knows that you can do, right?
Yes. I haven't thought about that, but yes.
And he's like
he'd make you feel like you could do it.
He's like a sleeper rider too, right? Like,
yeah, he is. No one knows how good he really is, and he's like
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool. Let's see. If near Houston, where would I ride? I have family there soon. Uriah is asking if he comes to Houston, where should he ride?
So I haven't ridden around Houston, but there is this place called the Ant Hills that if you like jumps, they're like, it's more like BMX, like dirt jumper type jumps, but I've heard that's the place to go for sure.
That's awesome. So what do you like to do outside of mountain biking? You know, everybody sees us on these cameras and they're like, "Oh, you just mountain bike." I go to I see family members who are like, "How's mountain biking?" "Oh, mountain bike is great. I don't do just mountain biking." So, what do you like to do outside of mountain biking?
Well, like for my full-time job, I'm a software engineer.
Another smart person.
Programmer, basically.
Yeah.
I love it. I love my job. Aside from that, I mean, seriously, during like this pandemic, I've been doing all kinds of crazy home projects.
You ever thought about doing a YouTube channel over a home project?
Yeah, I thought about that.
I've done so many things. I'm like, oh, I could start a YouTube channel now.
I heard YouTube is the future.
Yeah, right.
No, I thought about doing like, I don't know. I like doing stuff. I like getting in over my head, whether it's biking or anything else. So like, you know, like when my girlfriend's like, "Hey, I want to build a planter box in the backyard out of railroad ties and lumber," I'm like, well, I should figure out how to do that. I want to,
you know, get on there's a thing that shows really good DIY things. It's called YouTube. They got a ton of stuff on there.
I've heard about it.
Shows you how to.
That sounds familiar.
You should try it.
That sounds familiar. I think I've heard about that. But I like traveling. I like traveling and going places. I love the beach, which, you know, mountain biking.
Come on down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not really good. I mean, we got okay mountain biking, but go to.
Well, you got Alafaya. You've got what's the other place? There's one other place that is like huge there.
See, I haven't gone south. I've never rode south. I've been meaning to and just haven't done
some
it.
Island. There's like some island by Miami or something like that.
Let's see who's around here. Kyle he came and visited. Island.
I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering it. Maybe I'm confusing it with Dexter or, you know, some other television show I've watched.
I don't know.
Bloodline. Have you watched that show, Bloodline?
I've heard of it and haven't. No.
It is awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Virginia Key, Kyle says.
Yeah, he's saying Virginia Key. What's the actual trail there? That's not the only islands I can think of too.
I've heard of. I mean, the only thing I know of is that it used to be like owned by like a stupid rich person, and it's near Miami, kind of, and then they're building wood features and trails there. I don't know.
Oh, Kyle will answer here. Run Bike Mike is asking what coding languages. Come on, Mike. What coding languages do you write in? Okay, so real quickly, I'm gonna set this up. I had VanCan. Kyle thinks it's called Virginia Key. Is the trail. Okay, I don't know. But I had VanCan on, and he for 15 minutes, and it was awesome. I have no problem with it, but I'm sure I bored people out. But he sat there for 15 minutes talking about his mechanical engineering stuff, and blowing my mind, going over my head like crazy. And so this is what we're about to do. What coding languages do you write in?
Okay, I'm mostly JavaScript at this point. Like I'm a what's called a design technologist, which means that I'm really strong in UI. I'm not a full stack developer specifically, but I like to dabble in a lot of front end languages. So I write a lot of things in React, which is Facebook's like front end basically language. Basically componentizes a bunch of things that show up in apps and. Let's see. I started writing a lot in TypeScript, which is like a really more like explicit version of JavaScript. I don't really like it. It's a little frustrating. I'm banging my head against the wall a little bit with that. Yeah, that's about it. I've done some React Native. I work with a bunch of native developers, and they hate React Native because they said it's not the same thing as actually developing a native, which I understand. But yeah, JavaScript is my main thing. I do a lot of
super cool, dude.
I make a lot of things in Gatsby, which is like a front end like framework. Basically, it's like a not quite a CMS. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, JavaScript. I'll just go with that.
I have no idea what you've just said. And I think Mike understands. He says, I'm heavy in JavaScript too. I don't know what that means, but I understood you said app development or something like that. I think you said, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
understand that because I play on apps.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not good with what it's like. It's either Java on Android or Swift, which is like Apple's app development. But
okay.
I do React Native, or I have done React Native because it's easy and it deploys to both Android and Mac. So
that's super cool.
I'm gonna back my way out of programming languages.
You could talk about it. I mean, we got programmers on here, I think, so I'm sure they'd love to take over my my show with programming stuff. But let's get back to mountain biking. Have you ever tried to mountain bike before? What are you riding? What bike are you out there riding?
Right now, well, I also saw that Shred Shed asked what my dream bike is.
Oh yeah, he did say that. I'm sorry, Shred.
So I've had several bikes. Right now, I'm riding a 2019 DaVinci Spartan.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely the best bike I've ever ridden.
I've heard some good stuff about that.
Which is funny. Like I would have assumed like the only other YouTuber that's riding DaVinci, Boostmaster, Jordan Boostmaster, has a DaVinci Wilson as his like downhill rig.
Yeah. Well, he has his old one or
mm-hmm. Yeah. I think he still has it. I mean, I don't think he's exclusive
sure
to a brand right now, but yeah, I love DaVinci. Even my last bike, which I don't even know a whole lot about bikes. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that's why I have that terrible technician series. I don't geek out about. I don't know a lot about engineering, but I do know. What's the guy's name? Dave Weigel. He made DW Link.
Yes.
He's done like so he did DW Link and he did split pivot, which is what DaVinci uses. I think transition or no, actually I think pivot uses split pivot too. But I don't know. There's something about the bike. I can climb like a monster.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sitting up really high. Like it's like the difference between like driving a hatchback and sitting in like a lifted pickup truck.
Yeah.
But it climbs like a beast. It descends like a beast. Like I absolutely love that bike.
What's your front and rear setting up on
that? It's like I think it's like 170 and then 165 in the back. Okay. I think. So
it's their basic.
It's like an enduro bike. Yeah. The Spartan is their enduro bike. They also have the Troy, which is their more like all around trail bike, and then they have some other. I really want to get their dirt jumper. It's called the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know that most bike manufacturers right now are working on their 2021 lines, so I'm gonna hold off for a little bit and see what's in store for 2021.
I have a wife and children, so my bike is absolutely perfect right now, and I don't need any more bikes. I want another bike.
N plus one.
I've tried telling her that. She does not listen.
Here's what you do.
Okay.
You want to ride a trainer, right? It's COVID. You can't go ride the trails all the time, right? So you have to ride the trainer, right?
Yeah.
So you have to put your bike on a trainer, right? Because you can't buy a separate bike just for the trainer. So what you need to do is get a new bike, take your current bike, and put that on the trainer.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it.
No.
You can make. I think you can work with that. I think.
I just got a gravel bike recently, and that was Yeah.
Gravel bike will work on the trainer.
I'll give you her number, and you can text her and say, hey,
I don't think that's
it won't
appropriate.
work either. It won't work either. But with that, you posted recently, and I love it how you're posting now. It's your girlfriend and her daughter, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're posting. She's a shredder, dude. She's a little shredder,
Yeah.
getting awesome. And I
Yeah.
have to lift you up a little bit, give you props because you are stepping in there and like pumping her up, and it just. I'm a father, and it just kind of like warms me
Yeah.
up. Like, oh, dude, that's what's up,
Well,
dude. Get it.
yeah, like my son, he's 8. He will be 9 this fall, and he's not quite ready for bike parks.
Yeah.
So me and him have been riding a lot of local trails, but I have been kind of pushing my girlfriend and her daughter, and we've done a bunch of. She's 11, so she's got a couple more years on her, and she's done some of the local. Both of them have done the local enduro races. My girlfriend won the amateur women's, and although she'll talk down about herself and be like, "Oh, I scraped by," but she really,
She won.
yeah, she won. She got first place. She
I got
this
third
big.
to last place on my last enduro.
Oh yeah. I don't do that well. Although this might be my year. I'm going to be in 40 to 49 men instead of 30 to 39
There
men.
you go.
So maybe
You're
it's
the
my
youngin.
year.
You're the youngin,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
You're the young sprit.
Yep.
That's awesome,
I got yeah. So yeah, I like taking them to places. It's really cool. I feel like 2 or 3 years ago, I was in a place where I felt I wasn't even a competent rider. Like I was just going along with the flow and barely making it through things, not hitting jumps, not hitting drops or like any big features. And now I feel like I'm starting to figure it out. And it's really cool to like be riding with someone who's at that spot and someone that you have confidence in, but they might not have confidence in themselves, right? And be like, dude, you got this. You just go for it. Just try it. And it doesn't always work out that way, but it's cool to have a partner that is doing the same things that you're doing, right?
That's totally cool. Yeah. I got a 9-year-old, and she's I think almost ready to start hitting some trails with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, my wife has got a bike, and I want her to ride, but she doesn't show the interest and not her fault. She's just not interested as much as me.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter is like, Daddy, we can go now. We can go mountain biking. I can join you soon. Like, yeah, I think you're about ready. So
yeah,
that's got to be some of the best feeling. I love it, dude.
Yeah. It's also like, I mean, let's be honest. Like mountain bike it's an obsessive hobby, right?
Yeah,
like,
it is.
It's something that you can get all into, and I'm stoked that like my kid wants to do it, her kid wants to do it, and she wants to do it. Like that's I'm pretty lucky. I'm pretty lucky in that respect. Like we can go
some
anywhere.
Of these kids now too that are just insanely skillful. I mean, well, they don't have the, oh my God, I got I gotta make sure I go home to my family tonight.
Yeah, well, we just watched that. Have you watched that? It's on Amazon. It's called Return to Earth. It's like
might have.
It's like a mountain bike documentary, and there's like a bunch of like 9 to 11-year-old kids that are like living. They're like park rats, right? And they're just like throwing huge whips over. I think I recognize. I'm pretty sure it's A-Line that they're riding in the video.
Yeah. Yes, I have seen it.
And it's just crazy.
I wish I was one of those kids at that age.
Yeah.
It'd be insane. I remember talking to a pro rider. Who was it? It was I had him on here. I'm forgetting names right now, but I'm talking to him, and he's been in Red Bull Rampage and all that kind of stuff. And when he was in Red Bull Rampage that year, his last year is when they started doing backflips down the crazy stuff. But you're seeing kids do stuff like that, and it's just easy to them. When those kids are adults, where do we go? Where do you think? Where do you see mountain biking going to?
Yeah. I don't know. Like it's crazy. Someone in the chat mentioned one MTV. Like that kid and his dad. Like that kid is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have a couple like local riders um, that are this little kid Sam that rides here, and I think he's like 12, maybe 13, and the kid is like doing like no handers and like doing all these crazy jumps. It's crazy.
And freaking
I don't know.
fast. I watched
Yeah, and
I
fast.
watched a kid go down some pro downhill course, and he was sending speeds that the pros were hitting, you know,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
not even thinking. And it like, okay, cool. I put my head down and walk away.
Well, it's funny because last time I was out at Spider Mountain, I followed like I went up the lift, and these kids, they're just like, I call them squeakers. They're like little like teenage, 13, 12, 13, 14-year-old kids. And they're like, hey, are you from breaks? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, you want to ride down the mountain? And I'm like, sure. And I'm following these kids, and
You're
they're all
trying to
from like
follow them.
they're all from a BMX discipline. And so like they like, boost a jump, and they like, I see them stand up before when they go up the lip, and then they like pop their bike up, and they're like, and I'm like, what the, like these, like I could definitely be these kids' dads,
Yeah.
like I could be any of these kids, I could be their dad. Like I'm that old, but I don't know how they, have that much natural talent or that young. They're like, yeah, I know how to clear an 8-foot tabletop, no problem.
It's the video games. They play descenders
Yeah,
all day long.
it's a lot of Fortnite and
Yeah, yeah. They have no recollection, but that's so cool, dude. Um, so with that, the racing and all that kind of stuff, I was mentioning downhill racing. Have you done any? You said you did some XC racing back in the day. Have you done any other racing or anything like that?
I've done like 2 years of enduro races. Around here we have, um, well, there's the Texas Enduro Cup. We have the Arkansas Enduro Series, and the other one, Southern Enduro Tour, is the other one that comes through Texas. And I haven't really. I mean, I'm kind of burnt out a little bit on racing, just because. I mean, I'm not like a pro rider by any means, right? Like
Yeah,
people, I'm never going to get up on the podium. That's not really that's not what I'm good at, my main thing is that like I'm an okay rider that just happens to not have a hand, right? So
yeah,
I'm gonna kind of maybe step back from that a little bit. Well, also, no races are happening right now because of the global pandemic.
yeah.
So I don't know. I want to travel. I want to go to the Pacific Northwest so bad. That's like our first trip. Um, but we've been cooped up with 2 kids half the time for the last 5-6 months. So
Yeah.
I'll be stoked when we can just go to the beach. Go
Yeah.
somewhere and
Yeah. Have you where do you see your like you're trying to move away from, talking about prosthetic arm and all that kind of stuff or the writing. Where do you see your channel going from then? Going to, I guess.
Well, I don't really mind like that's like a key part of
It is.
why I ride, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
I don't see myself going away from that part specifically, but I just don't think like there's seriously like hundreds of people that record the rides and put them on YouTube, if not thousands, right? Like
Yeah.
there's
Oh yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
Um, and that's cool. Like, I want to ride and be like, yeah, look, I went to this place for the first time and it was really cool. Look, here was this fun little rock drop. Here's some cool music that I can throw on behind from Epidemic Sound,
Yeah, yeah.
like in the background. But I think, like,
Oh,
I don't know, like,
music follows me. Like I have epic gangsta music
yeah.
throwing
It's just beats
throwing
constantly
hip
popping.
right behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
No, I think that, like, the creative side of me wants to be like, I have this hilarious idea for a video, and I'm gonna write down what I think the script should be, and then I'm gonna like make it happen. I'm gonna go out and get these specific shots. I'm gonna put this video together, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it doesn't really matter whether I have, like I'm just shy of 13,000 subs right now, but I don't care whether I have 20, 30, 50, 100. Like if I'm not having fun making videos,
Exactly.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. The minute it stops being fun it's not worth it. It's
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like making videos is always a sacrifice, right? Like you always got to sacrifice something for it, whether it's like doing stuff around your house or, time with your significant other, time with your job or whatever. So with me, I'm not like, I don't really care about a video a week. Like that doesn't matter to me because, I have a son, a girlfriend, and her kid that I'd rather spend time with. So
yeah.
for me, it's like I have these good ideas. I'm going to go out and film this stuff when I can. I'm going to come back and edit the videos when I can. And as long as I'm doing cool stuff, as long as I'm having fun doing it and putting out stuff that I can be proud of, like that's paramount to like how many views or subs or whatever, any of the numbers.
Yeah, I'm with you. So you say you do a lot of Zwift. Do you do just mountain biking, or do you road ride also, or do you gravel or any other kind of ride except for mountain biking?
I don't really. My girlfriend and I bought a tandem bike, which is a true test of a relationship.
Yeah, yeah. Who drives?
I we've tried both. I think I'm a power bottom on the on the tandem. I think I'm in the back. I think she's better up front.
I can't.
Too much for this podcast.
I can't. Yeah, this is a pure
But
podcast, bro.
yeah, I have some some ideas with
Yeah.
that tandem bike. It's definitely a kind of a niche thing, but
Have you
I
watched
think
the
it's
Random Tandem?
no.
GMBN does a Random Tandem, and it's with he's the dude who's paralyzed.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And he drives it like
Yeah.
he's the
Oh yeah.
yeah, and it's the funniest thing. They get pro riders in the back and
That's
everything,
funny.
and they're screaming like little girls. So is your tandem bike a road bike, or is it?
Oh yeah.
Regular?
Oh yeah. It's totally road. I'm sure it needs a bunch of work. The brakes are all jacked up on it. It's just like an old like Italian 80s tandem road bike that we got
That's
for like
super cool.
$150.
Yeah.
So
I'd love
it's
to have that. I'd love to have one.
it's pretty fun but it is very scary and it takes
A lot of trust.
a lot of trust,
Man.
especially like when you're a goofball like me and you're like always
Yeah.
or when you're the person that's the power behind the bike and like in the back and just pedaling as fast as you can and you have someone saying stop pedaling, like hey, slow down. Like the kid in me comes out. I don't.
You gotta do a recording on that.
I got some ideas.
Bro,
I got something coming.
That's hilarious.
Other than that, I ride my mountain bike on Zwift, which I just found out a couple days ago that when you pick a mountain bike for your person in Zwift, it's harder to ride than if you pick a road bike for your like avatar or whatever.
Why would they do it that way?
Because they increase the wind resistance, and if you pick a mountain bike, I don't know why.
So okay. Oh, I can understand that. Yeah,
that explains why I'm having such a hard time on Zwift. I saw Run Bike Mike asked what my level is.
I was about to ask you that.
7 or 8. I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I have like Mike. I have like 250,000 sweat points or whatever they are. The little sweat drop things. I don't even know what that means. I know eventually I can buy a Scott Spark on there. I'm saving up for a Scott Spark. I think it's like 300,000 sweat. 300,000 sweats.
I want to get into it, but I don't know. Even if I got what do they call a power meter?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could because I love being outside. Like, I can't even do
Yeah, yeah,
treadmills or something like that. I
yeah,
love being outside, and our trails are open here, so um, I don't know. And then just sitting there,
yeah.
I heard it's miserable. Is it
It's
as
it's
miserable as they
pretty
say it
it's
is?
pretty tough, man.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky because I mean, Florida will never close. It won't close anything. So,
Florida man.
yeah, I guess yeah, Florida's never gonna close anything. So
No, it
you're
won't.
always gonna be able to ride trails. Here they shut a lot of the local parks for a little bit.
Well,
But yeah.
they shut parks here for a while during the beginning of the quarantine part.
Hmm.
They shut the parks down.
But here's the thing: if you want to pack up and go for a ride, right? You got to get all set up. You got to load your bike. You got to go out and ride. The ride's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you got to drive home. It might be a half hour there and back. And
Yeah.
until you're said and done, it's like half a day gone, right?
Yeah.
But like, like I have a bunch of 9 o'clock meetings, but I wake up at 6:30 in the morning, so I'll be like, hey, I got a half hour, 45 minutes. I'll go out and like do a quick little like 5 mile, 8 mile Zwift session,
Yeah.
and that works. But again, I'm riding on a mountain bike on Zwift, and I'm riding an actual mountain bike in the room with all the suspensions locked out and everything, and it is a suffer fest. Suffer fest. Like if you're not pedaling your bike, you're not moving.
Yeah. That's weird. Is it? Does it kind of screw you up because it's holding you in? I don't know what kind you have. Do you have the wheel one, or do you have where you take the rear wheel off and you have?
Oh
your
yeah,
so,
I have a wheel off. It's called a direct drive.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a Wahoo Kicker Core or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's awesome.
You got a good one.
I really like it. I really like it. Well, I'm glad that I ponied up for it, and I had like a fitness, like my work does a fitness credit, so I could kind of subsidize it a little bit.
I wonder if I could get. I'm my own boss. I
Try
wonder
it.
if I can get myself
Do
my
it.
own.
Well, you can give
Credit.
yourself a credit, right?
I'll get my own credit. Yeah.
Write it
I was telling
off.
my wife, it's going to give me a 6-pack. It's going to make me look good. And
Hey
she'll be
man,
like, no.
there's been times I got off the trainer and I thought I was gonna pass out. Like you get all
Wow.
lightheaded and stuff,
It's
and
good.
I'm like here, look. I love Tailwind. Like Tailwind is my jam. I don't know if you ever use that. Here, I got like a box of Tailwind stuff right here.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's like
the protein energy stuff.
it's like caffeinated, salted,
Okay, yeah.
whatever. God, I knocked stuff over.
You broke everything.
But I love Tailwind, and I drink like 2 water bottles of that stuff before I go ride, and then or I drink a water bottle beforehand, then I drink a water bottle of it while I ride, and I still get off there some days, and it's like probably like 100 degrees, 110 here right now,
Jeez.
and I'll get off and go sit on the porch with a beer and be like, ugh. feel like Mr. Burns in The Simpsons, all decrepit.
Crushing Dad goes, my tail's got wind. Oh, Shane.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And
Hi
yes,
Shane.
yeah, Matt, I got a haircut. It's all gone. Yeah, everybody, you haven't seen it, Eric, but I told you I had
It was pretty long,
long
right?
hair. Yeah, it was pretty long, and people thought I had a mullet. Let's see. Can I see?
I'm working on it. I got my quarantine beard going too.
You
I
look
can.
like I'm looking at you at a small screen. You
I
look
can't even
like
see myself.
what was the dude off of North Shore?
Oh.
The guy that folded his hair up. That's what.
Oh yeah.
He looked like that.
Well, I remember like back in the day, we used to call it the cave wave. It's like
Cave
a
wave?
caveman haircut.
Oh, I had my
Goes
hairstyle
up like a skate ramp.
Yeah, my hair. You remember the Caesar haircut? It went straight forward. I had it went forward and then whoop right at the front. And bullied as a kid, they're like, oh, "I'm gonna go surf Jeremy's hair." So I just do this now. Feels so good.
Yeah.
You should get a haircut.
There's I found a place that I had to make an appointment like 2 weeks out, but and I have to wear a mask still when I go there.
Yeah.
But the guys, it's like a classic barbershop, so
I'm in
stoked.
Florida.
I need it.
Only the corporate or the those big like great clips or whatever. Those are the only ones that force you.
Oh,
So
supercuts, great clips, you
super
know,
cuts, those force you to wear a face mask. But
so legit.
my hairstylist does not require a face mask. So
Oh,
yeah, she's good. She's good. So Matt from Shut Up and Ride is asking to see your frontal tattoo.
mm.
Is it okay to see your frontal tattoo?
Uh,
You don't. You can say no. I mean,
it's from the waist up. It's okay, I
it's
think,
it's it's
right?
it's a weird. No, that's
Is
fine.
that a?
As long as
I
it's
don't.
not naked women
It's
or
not.
something like
No,
that.
it's not. All right,
Are
it's
we
not
doing?
done. It's not done.
We're
I'll
doing
go for it.
this.
Ready?
We're doing this. Oh, jeez. Oh, that looks painful.
Yeah, it's pretty. It was pretty terrible.
Is that a pig?
Yeah, it's not a pig.
A
It's a
hog? A
boar.
boar?
It's a
A
boar. A
boar?
boar.
A
It's my
boar?
spirit animal.
Your spirit animal. That's
Uh
awesome.
huh. Uh huh. Super
Well,
stubborn,
that
and
that looks just. Cobra Kyle says that's what he came for. That's the only reason he came for.
the belly.
Yeah, you pervert. So that I don't have any tattoos. I have 0 tattoos. My wife doesn't like tattoos. I don't get tattoos. Does that hurt? Like the stomach is which you had a
Yeah.
bunch of tattoos. I know it hurt. I
Oh
know
yeah,
tattoos
yeah.
hurt, but I'm saying was that like a bad one? Stomach.
Yes. So arms, legs,
Yeah.
easy peasy. They don't feel good, but it's not the end of the world. Stomach, ribs,
Ugh.
worst. The worst. It's like I don't even like I'm 5, 6 hours into this one and
Oof.
I haven't even gotten to like
Barely
the
touched it.
color part of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to do on my next session is going to be like browns and pinks and purples and I don't know.
Jeez.
I've been kind of putting it off just because it's pretty painful. But it
I'm
looks cool, right? It kind of looks
It
all right.
looks insane, bro. That is super. Yeah, it's super cool. I like the look of tattoos. I mean, I really like it.
I try not to think about how much I've spent on tattoos either.
Yeah,
Like I don't want to go down that
bro,
road.
you have several more new bikes.
Yeah, I could have, right?
Yeah, especially.
I have a like a BB-8 tattoo on my thigh, which I'm not going to show on here. That like it's like BB-8 with Jakku, and the outline around it is it's a piece of rope in the shape of the Millennium Falcon. It's
Oh, sweet.
one of my favorite tattoos.
I have scars,
That's
and
cool.
I sliced my leg open.
Oh
4th of
yeah, tell me
July.
about that. Tell me
Okay,
about that.
so here's a warning. Warning, warning. Do not wear sandals with flat pedals and
Hmm.
jump off stuff. Mine didn't end well. 4th of July, I decided I was going to go out and watch some fireworks with my brother, and he ran, and I was going to ride my bike. I'm in sandals. I'm being stupid, just swerving back and around, and I went off the curb and popped it pretty good. Did
Hmm.
a bar spin, little there in the air. Brought it back, and when I landed, my foot was angled up, and I'm wearing flip flops, so it's how is it? It's like this. My foot goes out, and my left foot is still in the pedals, which push the pedal up and hit me. I don't remember. I have a pair of Deity. I don't remember. They're real super grippy, nice,
Hmm.
spiky, just sharp. And I have scars up and down my legs from just nicking it and just getting it good. Well, this one, it is nasty. Just tore into it deep. I should have gotten stitches, but I didn't get stitches, and it got infected, and
Oh
so
no.
now I'm not riding for for a little bit. But yeah, dude, don't ever ride or jump off stuff on your bike with sandals.
Well, the last time that I rode with Shane, the Crashing Dad,
Yeah.
and it was with a bunch of other YouTubers. It was like RC Outdoor Gold and Joseph Trail Features
Mm-hmm.
and Joe Mr. Tonka and this guy Jason, I think he's still YouTube. So anyway, we were at the Monarch Crest, and I got the worst. Yes, see, Shane knows. Shinner from hell, dude. My shin was like, it looked like there was a softball on my shin.
Ooh.
I don't even know what I like. I don't even. I just was goofing off and lost the pedal and
You just
took
popped
it.
up and took it?
Yeah, just hit my shin on my pedal, and it swelled
Didn't it
up.
cut you or nothing?
Oh, it cut me, but it wasn't like
It wasn't like mine. You didn't
it
need
was
stitches.
more of a bruise than like
Ugh.
a gash, right? So like it was bleeding, and it was
It's like
gross.
taking a
But
baseball bat to the shin.
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Yeah, I have so many scars on one leg. I have scars on my right leg, and now I'm gonna have two gnarly ones from this thing.
It's
Like,
when you lose a pedal. It's so frustrating
well,
because there's no reason for it.
I went out. I actually rode a couple days later after that, and they glued it shut, and they should have stitched it, but didn't happen. Whatever. And I went and rode, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna conquer my fear. I'm gonna jump off a curb again. I'm wearing regular shoes, and I popped off, and my foot came off the pedal. I've
Uh,
never felt fear in my entire life like I did right there. Because I was like, it's going to happen again. No, no, no. My foot came. I was fine.
yeah.
But I then went and rode Bear Creek a week later. So, and that's probably what reopened the
Oy.
wounds. But so we are coming down to the end of the hour. Something I like to ask people I interview: do you have a saying that you like closing your videos out with? Do you have a
Yeah,
slogan?
I always say stay shreddy, which is like kind of a corny saying,
Yeah.
but
How'd you come up with that?
I don't know. Everyone had one, and I couldn't think of one, so that seemed to fit.
So,
Um,
what's the movie?
ooh,
Will Ferrell. He says, what is the movie now? Come on.
Step Brothers,
No,
Talladega
Anchorman,
Nights,
Anchorman.
Anchorman.
What does he say? Stay. I don't remember. He says something
I
San
forget. I
Diego.
forget what he says.
But yeah, that's all. Let's go. So stay shreddy.
Oh, yeah, stay. Is it Cobra Kyle that has the Ride Within Reason
Ride
one?
within reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like. I don't really ride within reason. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, Cobra,
I,
Kyle's one of those dry. He's hilarious.
yeah,
Kyle is
yeah,
hilarious,
yeah,
but he's very dry. So that whole stay rowdy within reason is just like
yeah,
perfect for him. That's great.
yeah. I never want to encourage anybody to hurt themselves, but like
Yeah.
I've obviously gotten hurt on a bike, and I do lots of stupid stuff. The last time I did a crash montage, it was like a minute and a half, and then I was like, this can't be this long. I need to cut it down.
Matt told us it's stay classy San Diego. That's what it was. And
Oh
then you
yeah,
got Shane with the whole. Okay, Shane. But that's totally awesome. Well, I posted Eric's YouTube channel down in the description below. Make sure you go check out his channel. Watch him. Watch all his videos 3 times through. That's what you're allowed to do in a views count. So go check him out. He's got some awesome stuff he's putting out there and just
just
making
not old ones. No old
no
videos.
old videos.
Don't watch those.
Don't
No,
watch those. This is
no.
embarrassing. My
Yeah,
first video was me
very
standing up on
much.
top of a mountain, just going, "Isn't this place amazing?" And going, "Someday I'll have a GoPro and I'll go ride down this." And that was my first video, and yeah, it's still there, and it's
I
still
believe
getting
it. I
views.
believe it. It was probably amazing.
It was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous place, but the video was. Yeah. Well, dude, Eric, I appreciate you coming on my podcast, and it's always a good time meeting new people. And you got an awesome channel, and hopefully we can
Thanks.
get some people to go and check out a new channel. If you haven't seen him, go, like I said, down below, and he's got an awesome channel. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I say every single time, guys, make sure you lift up God, lift up life, lift up the adventure. Get out there, make your own adventures. Go and check out No Front Brakes. Link down in the description below. I'll talk to you guys later. And I love this part because I click the button several